The following is an EHC media production. Watching the WWE 24 coverage of WrestleMania 34 was amazing. Just brought chills to my skin and reminded me of how great it felt when I was live there in New Orleans.
What's going on, RWT? This is Mike Larkin, the host of The Future Is Now. Welcome to episode 23. Before I get into this review, I'd just like to say happy birthday to my co-host on the Steve and Mike Show, the S&M Show Podcast Network, Mr. Steve Nicoforo. Happy birthday, homie. I love you like a brother to me, and thank you for all that you do. Anybody who wants to wish Steve a happy birthday, this will be on the RWT YouTube. It'll be on my SoundCloud, MCLarkin92. Send him a tweet at SteveNixSM. That's at Steve Nix, NICS-SM. I'll put the link to his Twitter in the description below this audio. Happy birthday, homie. I love you. You're like a brother to me. You're my best friend. And that comes from the heart. I really do. That dude's a good dude. He really is. Love Steve. Great guy. And guys, if you will, please give him a follow. Just awesome human being. Now, besides the fact that today is my homie's birthday as I'm recording this, it's Friday, January 25th, Amir Blackman Costello, RWT, he's going to Phoenix. I hope he has a great time. NXT Takeover is this Saturday. Sunday is the Royal Rumble. We're doing it up. By the time you're also hearing this podcast, Promo Rumble 4 will be out as I defend my Knowledge Championship against Kenny Killer, the former Knowledge Champion. A rivalry renewed with myself and Kenny, and Courtney Summers, the Switch Babe herself, challenges me for that prestigious championship. Then we have the Promo Championship being defended by Amir Blackman Costello as he takes on Moni Lynn. That's going to be also very interesting, so check out, well, it should be out after this recording, but either today or tomorrow, check out Podcast Promo Rumble 4. You guys will enjoy what you hear. The pre-show's already out in the RWT group, so check out the pre-show with Kenny's questions and Kenny and Daz talking about NXT TakeOver, Phoenix, and Royal Rumble predictions. Just check out what we got going on, Max and RWT, and a special happy birthday to my co-host, Mr. Steve Nicoforo. And Amir, have fun in Phoenix, my friend, my brother. Alrighty. Guys, this is going to be a short one this week. I'm actually going to be away on Sunday for my mom's birthday, which was January 16th. We took my mom out to dinner, but her ultimate present is going to be this Sunday because I'll probably watch the Royal Rumble when we get back to the hotel. We're actually taking my mom. We're going to be in Raleigh. We're going to be seeing Cher live in person. My dad and I got my mom tickets to see Cher, so I will be out on Sunday, and I'll be checking and catching up on the Rumble when I get in. So, yeah. Gonna have a lot of fun this coming weekend, and where to start off? My goodness, this 205 in NXT, solid action this week, a solid go-home edition of NXT towards TakeOver Phoenix, which we'll discuss in a second. But first and foremost, we're going to start ourselves off with some 205 Live, which opened up with NXT. He was on NXT, so this goes. NXT's Humberto Carrillo is now the newest signee of 205 Live. We've seen Humberto Carrillo on NXT, teaming with Raul Mendoza, who was in the inaugural Cruiserweight Classic. He took on Gran Metalik. This was just an amazing matchup. Lucha, the Lucha style coming in with the handsprings, the springboards, and the arm drags. These two went back and forth. One of the best ones on this was, towards the end of the match, Carrillo slaps Metalik, but Metalik leaps over the top rope, hits the Hurricane Rana to the floor, which is an amazing sight to see. These two had a great matchup. It started off very, cordial, the handshake at the beginning of the matchup. It was very, very good. What's the best way to describe it? I think the best way to describe it is you have something with Humberto Carrillo. Be on the lookout for him. He's a young kid, and he has a lot of potential, and he's going to do wonders, I think, in 205 and NXT, if we still see him on NXT as well, respectively. So be on the lookout for Humberto Carrillo. And Gran Metalik just had an amazing matchup. The finishing sequence came when Metalik slaps Carrillo, goes for a superplex. Carrillo blocks it, and Carrillo hits the forearms and pushes Metalik off. And then we have a boot by Carrillo and a missile dropkick. And then he goes for the headstand into the Arabian press, the springboard moonsault for the 1-2-3, as Humberto Carrillo with the upset over Gran Metalik of the Lucha House Party. And after the match, they shake hands, very cordial. It's a great way to start off 205 Live. Then we go to the back, and Drake Maverick is talking about Humberto Carrillo to Drew Gulak and Jack Gallagher, talking about, his high-octane assault. And, Drew Gulak's not happy because this is a no-fly zone. He's wanting to make a better 205 Live. Him and Jack Gallagher are disgusted and speechless. They leave the room. Tony Nese comes in and demands a rematch against Noam Dar. Drake likes the idea of a rubber match between the two, and he says he'll consider it. Drake says that this takes time and he doesn't want to jump into it. Tony Nese threatens Drake if he does not give him the rematch. He is sick of hearing Dar talk about a split victory. Tony says if he doesn't get the match, he will have to make his own opportunities. Then we see Akira Tozawa in the back, and he says he has some good times and bad times on 205 Live. He did not travel around the world to be a joke. He will become a 2-time Cruiserweight champion. Then Lince Dorado says that 2019 will be a big year for the Lucha House Party. They are on Raw on 205 Live. He says there is one thing missing, and that is the Cruiserweight Championship. Kalisto says if one of them will win, they all win. Kalisto will show that he is a threat for the Cruiserweight Championship. He'll be the champion on Sunday, and they will show the power of Lucha. And Caleb Braxton is in the back asking Hideo Itami about becoming Cruiserweight Champion. Ari Daivari says that not being a former champion makes him the most dangerous and hungriest. He will make these men an example for Sunday. Itami speaks in Japanese, and then we have our main event matchup, which was Kalisto, Akira Tozawa, and Hideo Itami in a triple threat match, which is a preview for this upcoming Sunday's Royal Rumble match for the Cruiserweight Championship. Buddy Murphy comes out to scout. These two were all over the place, just shots that were amazing. The jabs, the elbows, great back and forth action between these three. What was really cool about it is just the stiffness with Itami with his boots. Lucha House Party Kalisto with his lucha style, and Tozawa with the strong style as well. What really was cool about it is you got to see Buddy Murphy come in towards the end, because they were having like a great sequence where Tozawa comes in with a boot. Tommy goes to the turnbuckles, drops Tozawa. They go up top, and he allows Kalisto to hit the running boot to the head. And as they're going for a double superplex, that being Tozawa and Kalisto on Tommy, here comes Buddy Murphy. They do the Tower of Doom spot. Buddy Murphy, goes around the ring, just pretty much beats the crap out of all three. Sends Tommy to the turnbuckles, kicks him. Murphy with a form to Kalisto. He does not leave Tozawa out of this, and he connects with forms on Tozawa. Kalisto kicks Murphy, and then Tozawa with a boot to the head. Then Tozawa and Kalisto double super kick, and Kalisto hits the Salida del Sol, the standing Acai DDT that Ultimo Dragon used to do, the standing slice spread on Buddy Murphy. Tozawa with the suicide dive headbutt to Murphy. Kalisto with a springboard senton onto Tozawa on the floor. Then Itami with a boot to knock Kalisto off the apron. Then Itami sends Tozawa to the ring, hits the Falcon Arrow, but then gets a near fall. Then we come towards the end of the match where Tozawa misses the Enziguri, hits the spinning heel kick on Itami. Kalisto with a running shoulder to Tozawa in the corner. Kalisto hits an Enziguri on Tozawa. Kalisto sets up for the superplex, but Itami with the form to Kalisto's back. Kalisto with a headbutt to Itami. Then Itami is sent to the floor with the back body drop. Kalisto with an Enziguri to Tozawa, and Tozawa holds on to the ropes on the Frankensteiner attempt, like we've seen many times in that particular maneuver. And then Tozawa goes for the Dick Togo senton. Itami with the hesitation dropkick on Kalisto. Then he hits the knee to Tozawa's head, which is a cool sequence. He's kind of like in a reverse, like DDT, but then he just boom, knees him right in the head. Looks sick on Tozawa for the 1-2-3. And Hideo Itami is your victor going into Sunday's Cruiserweight Championship matchup, which will take place on the Royal Rumble kickoff. And that was your 205 Live. Go back and watch both matches. They were very, very good. They gave them a lot of time, and it was a nice build to the Cruiserweight Championship match at the Rumble, and it was a nice showcase from Humberto Carrillo, because he's going to be the future of 205 Live going forward, and he's one of the new up-and-comers that we're going to see on 205 Live. So a great addition of 205 Live. Now this is where we get into NXT, and this one was another excellent show for the go-home for Takeover Phoenix this Saturday night. We opened up with Ricochet and Johnny Gargano arriving. Velveteen Dream comes out. He says if he didn't realize he has a little sparkle in his eyes, Dreamer has something special in his sights. Dream says you all know better than anybody, then Dream waits for no man. If you really knew him, you would know that the sparkle in his eye is a sparkle of championship gold, more specifically the North American Championship. It's his time. Then here comes Adam Cole, baby, and Bobby Fish. Cole tells Dream to pump the brakes. Everybody knows that 2019 will be the year of the Undisputed Era. They will capture all championship gold. Kyle and Roderick are getting ready for another title defense. Him and Bobby don't have any gold to speak of. They don't like arriving empty-handed, and they will have gold around their waist. You can continue to dream on. Bobby says Dream is making a mistake getting the hopes of the crowd raised. You need to learn to live in reality, because 2019 will continue to be our era. That is undisputed. Dream tells Bobby he is ready to dispute that claim, but only if it's okay with Adam. Then Fish comes into the ring. Dream sends him over the top. Cole's sent to the floor as well, and Dream escapes. And we have a video package for Shayna Baszler and Bianca Belair. Shayna says that she has spent the year winning and defending the title. They cannot stand that she has the title because there's nothing that they can do about it. Belair says she's the strongest, toughest, and fastest. Shayna will learn that Belair is the best. Shayna had a great year being a 2-time champion, and that means Shayna's lost. Guess who hasn't lost? Belair says that she will take the title from Shayna. She's undefeated. Shayna says that she knows how Belair feels because she was there last year. Look what she did. People fear the champion. This is what it should. And that is what it should. It should be. Belair says if she has to take care of these people, three people to get the title, she will do it. In regards to Jessamine Duke, Marina Shafir, and Shayna Baszler. Shayna says it does not matter how strong you are or how fast you are, you need air to breathe. Belair says she has always thrived under pressure and takes a lot of pressure to form a diamond, and this diamond will shine the best. And then we look at the build towards Keith Lee and Cassius Ohno, what happened last week, going into the match that Cassius Ohno and Matt Riddle will have this coming Saturday at NXT TakeOver Phoenix. Then we open up with an amazing matchup. We had a battle of NXT UK and NXT as Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan took on the team of Fabian Eichner and Marcel Bartel. My God, this was a great match. This was just stiffness, single leg submissions, kicks, headbutts, the whole night. Go out of your way to watch this match. It was absolutely amazing. The lariats, the enziguris, Fabian Eichner, who was in the inaugural Cruiserweight Classic, did the springboard moonsault. They did the double team with the brainbuster. They did the double team with the uppercut. It was just an amazing match. Go out of your way to see it. There was so much. It was so fast paced, but it was stiff and it was raw, and it was what these men, all four men, respectively exemplify. So it was an amazing matchup. Then we get towards the end, where we have Lorcan hits Eichner with a running European uppercut. Lorcan hits the suicide dive onto Bartel. Eichner with a double jump crossbody onto everyone on the floor. Lorcan hits a roll up on Eichner after Eichner leaps over Lorcan for the 3. Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan are your victors, but it was an amazing matchup. And just, it absolutely will blow you away. After this, we get a look at the NXT Championship matchup. Ciampa says that the title makes the man. Ever since he has put his hands around Goldie, the man makes the title. Why can't anyone dethrone him? It is because he wants it more than anybody. It takes a different man to build his nest at the top of the mountain and call it home. Black says he was down in an abyss and he has to climb out of it. It makes him very angry. There are a lot of men who got lost in the rage, but Black says he focuses on a single stream and takes it out on his enemies. Black tells him that he had to go through extreme lengths to get back where he belongs. Ciampa says Black's title reign was overshadowed by Ciampa in the main event. Black says he will cut the wires of the puppet master. Ciampa says it's jealousy by Black. Which leads us to our next matchup, the return of Kairi Sane as her and Io Shirai take on the team of an On the Mic with Mike alumni of mine. I had the pleasure of interviewing her. You've seen her on Impact Wrestling, and we've seen her fight Nikki Cross on NXT. Amber Nova, the girl from the Garage, made her a second appearance on NXT, and she teamed with Tania Brooks. Now, for those who are unfamiliar with Tania Brooks, she was Rebel in TNA, Impact Wrestling. She was a part of the Dollhouse with Marty Bell and Jade, Mia Yim. She was a part of the Menagerie with Crazy Steve and the Freak, who was Rob Terry, and who was Nux, the former Mike Knox in the WWE. That was a hell of a team, hell of a tandem. That's what she was in TNA and Impact Wrestling. She was on Impact not too long ago doing a couple matches. We saw her against like Tessa Blanchard and Winter, Katie Lee Burchill, Katarina, whatever she's called now. I believe it's Katarina. So we've seen her on Impact not too long ago, and now she's making her debut on NXT, teaming with Amber Nova. This match, it was okay. They went back and forth. It was nice to see. Kairi Sane, they mostly dominated. They hit they hit double team maneuvers. They hit they did kind of like a, what's the best way to describe it? I'm sorry, I'm having a brain break. They did like a double hip toss. They did like a double drop down on her, working over her. Then Brooks and Nova came back. It was kind of like a wonky thing because it looked like Amber Nova zigged when she sort of zagged, if that makes any sense, because it had dropped down and you could tell she kind of like botched the move a little bit. But they were double teaming on her, Shirai and Sane. And then Brooks comes back, hits a knee to the midsection, and she hits a suplex. Brooks goes for a suplex again, but Sane gets to her feet and hits the spear. And then Io tags in, she connects with forearms. Io Shirai hits a drop kick and a tiger feint kick. Shirai with a forearm to Nova. Shirai with a springboard double drop kick, and Sane tags in. She hits a spine buster to Brooks, and Sane is elevated for an elbow drop. Shirai hits a moonsault, and Sane gets the 3 count. It was a great tag team sequence with Io Shirai and Kairi Sane just to show that, hey, we got women's tag titles coming. Let's maybe get Io Shirai and Kairi Sane in the mix. And Amber Nova and Tania Brooks were there to do what they do. Just, get a little offense and just put the baby faces over. I believe Tania Brooks, Rebel, her husband who worked in production in Impact Wrestling, is signed to WWE now. So I wouldn't be shocked to see more Rebel making appearances on NXT. And Amber Nova, the Team Vision Dojo is in Florida. She's made appearances on Impact Wrestling and NXT respectively. So we'll probably see more of them in the future, which I'm fine with. Then we go back and we get comments from Io Shirai and Kairi Sane. Kairi says they are going to take care of business. Io says no one can beat them. Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir show up and welcome them back. They will be sending Kairi out to sea. So we then find out that we have 2 matches next week for NXT as Kairi Sane and Io Shirai will take on Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir, and the Street Profits will take on the Forgotten Sons of Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake. We get Velveteen Dream and Bobby Fish. This was a great back and forth. You saw Velveteen Dream doing the homage to Randy Macho Man Savage with the axe handle to the outside. Adam Cole tried to get in. The referee caught him, and he warns Cole. Dream with an O'Connor roll. Dream gets Fish on his shoulders, but Fish escapes. Dream sends Fish onto Cole on the floor. Then he hits the rolling DVD. Then he hits the Purple Rainmaker elbow drop for the 1, 2, 3, and Velveteen Dream is your winner. It was a great matchup between the two. Then we are back, and we look at what happened last week with the Street Profits and Forgotten Sons, and then next week we get the Street Profits against the Forgotten Sons, like I mentioned, and we're also going to get Io Shirai and Kairi Sane against Jessamine Duke and Marina Shafir, and this brings us to our main event segment, as here comes Ricochet. Ricochet tells Johnny Gargano 2 weeks ago, you talked all this crap about being better. 5 minutes later, you blindsided him like a coward with a super kick. 2019 Johnny Gargano was the same as 2018 Johnny Gargano. In 2018, all you did was show the world your true colors. You showed them you are a liar and you are deceitful. You showed that you only care about yourself. In 2018, Ricochet says he showed his true colors when he won this title. He showed that he is the one and only. He showed that he is something that Johnny Gargano is not, a champion. Here comes Johnny Gargano. He says he knows what Rick's trying to do. He's trying to make Johnny use his emotions against him. Last year, he would have probably charged the ring. In 2019, Johnny Gargano has a plan. Then Gargano punches Ricochet. We get the brawl. Here comes Tommaso Ciampa. Hits Ricochet from behind. Gargano looks at Ciampa, and then Gargano attacks Ricochet and punches him. And then here comes Aleister Black to attack Ciampa. Black with boots to the head in the corner. Gargano sends Ricochet into the ring steps. Gargano hits Black from behind and hits Black with a super kick. Ciampa looks at Gargano, then he punches and kicks Black. Gargano works over Ricochet on the other side of the ring. And then here comes Gargano with the slingshot DDT on Ricochet, while Ciampa hits the double underhook gourd buster, almost a version of the Angel's Wings, a la Christopher Daniels on Aleister Black. Then Ciampa and Gargano walk up the ring together, but they do not look like they are back together. They're looking at each other. Then here comes Tommaso Ciampa giving out his hand. Here comes Candice LeRae telling Johnny not to shake his hand. And we go to credits. Here's the cliffhanger. Is DIY going to get back together? I'm going to say yes. You'll hear our predictions on Max Wrestling's podcast Promo Rumble 4 for both shows. I'm looking forward to this Saturday, and that is the end of NXT. I'm just going to run down the card. I'm not going to do predictions because that's what Max Wrestling was about. You'll hear that when the episode is out. But for those who are going like Amir, I hope you have fun in Phoenix. And I hope those enjoy watching Royal Rumble and NXT Takeover Phoenix respectively. I will be catching up on Royal Rumble when I get back home after the concert, and I will check out NXT this Saturday night. So the matches announced right now for the Rumble are the men's Royal Rumble match, the women's Royal Rumble match, Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor, Asuka versus Becky Lynch, Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles, Ronda Rousey, Sasha Banks, The Bar against The Miz and Shane McMahon, and the 2 pre-show matches are Buddy Murphy, Akira Tozawa, Hideo Itami, and Kalisto, and Rusev and Nakamura. So that is your 9 matches for the Royal Rumble. Now we get to NXT TakeOver Phoenix, and the main matches are Tommaso Ciampa and Aleister Black. We also have Matt Riddle and Cassius Ohno. You have Shayna Baszler and Bianca Belair, the Undisputed Era against the War Raiders, and Ricochet and Johnny Gargano. So those are the 5 matches set for TakeOver, and then the Royal Rumble, which I mentioned. And then we have Worlds Collide, which is an upcoming 2-day professional wrestling show and WWE Network event produced by WWE for their 205 Live NXT and UK brands. The event will take place on January 26th and 27th at Royal Rumble Access, and this event will air on the WWE Network on February 2nd. So that is what we have to expect on February 2nd, and then right after that, on February 17th, we have the WWE Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. And then we have, I believe, Fastlane. I just wanted to make sure I'm correct on that. Yes, Fastlane will take place on March 10th, and then we have the granddaddy of them all, WrestleMania. So, folks, a lot of wrestling coming up. Enjoy Royal Rumble and Takeover this week from NXT and WWE. Same company, but still. Great events. NXT is going to look to outshine like they always do. Enjoy this weekend's professional wrestling. I'll be back next week with episode 24. The Future Is Now. The outcome, the fallout from Takeover and the Royal Rumble, respectively. Gonna be good. My name is Mike Larkin. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you next time. Thank you.